So today, I've had a few people asking me where I've been, if I'm gonna keep making videos, or am I coming back, or what am I doing? Just like a few people that follow me on Instagram, because of course I have been posting there, just not on this. So I did not get to do a birth vlog or labor and delivery vlog, and the reasons are good reasons. It's not that I was lazy, it's not that I just didn't want to do it, it's not that I mean, we wanted our privacy, but I wanted to put it out there, and at the same time it would have been a beautiful thing to have, especially when my daughter would have gotten older. But unfortunately I did not get to do that. I did not have that opportunity, and I was very bummed out about that. So I'm here to explain basically my labor and delivery and what happened and everything to follow. So just warning you that this is probably going to be quite a long video because of the fact that a lot happened. To start with, if I'm looking down at my phone, is because one, I have notes, and two, my birthday dinner is in like an hour. So we're gonna get this going. So basically, what had happened was my original due date was on June 1st, and after I had gotten my 20-week, like my anatomy scan, they changed it to June 10th because of her size. She's sleeping over here in a swing, so they changed it to June 10th. Well, I was very miserable and I was hurting a lot. And little did I know I was having contractions, but I didn't know that because I was thinking like the normal stomach contractions that most people have, and I'm like 36 weeks when I started having these mostly. So anyway, I had asked them to set me an induction date, and I wanted to have it on, I think, the June 3rd, and they said no, we have to wait until Monday, which would be the 5th. I said okay, that's fine, let's go ahead and let's do that, because I was just miserable. I had tried everything. I was bouncing on my birthing ball. I mean, everything that I didn't think would harm me, that was like the old wives' tales, I tried. So I went in on the 5th, and my fiance got off work at 5 o'clock. She said come anytime after 4. I said okay, that's fine. So we go eat, and we get everything ready, and we go into the hospital. She said, well, tonight all I'm going to do is insert the Cervidil to try to soften your cervix up and open it up to where it should be, and it may go ahead and kickstart your labor, because I've heard of that happening quite a lot. Like, that's all that people need is that. They don't even need the Pitocin. So I was like, okay, well, like, let's hope, that this starts my labor, that I don't have to get Pitocin, because I didn't want to, because I heard, like, how much harder it made your whole labor process. So I get that and whatever, and I'm just very uncomfortable. Like, my whole, like, uterus is, like, not, like, it wasn't contractions, like, but I had so much pressure down there, and then them doing what they need to do all the time, I'm just like, what the hell? So, anyway, throughout the night, they ended up giving me, some pill to help me sleep, because in the morning I was getting like induced at 5 in the morning. So they do that. I get to sleep for like 2 hours, and I wake up and they start Pitocin. Well, they take the Cervidil out and they slit my membranes and they let me take a shower. So I do that, and I'm like, thank God. I feel disgusting by this point. So I go ahead and I take a shower, and then I get out and they're like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and start your Pitocin now. Are you sure that you're ready? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, let's get this started. Like, I want to meet my baby. So they start my Pitocin, and I am in an unbearable amount of pain. Like, I went to sleep for maybe 45 minutes, and I wake up, and my back feels like somebody has a knife in it. Like I said, I never once experienced a actual front, like, uterus contraction. I just never had that. So I was like, okay, well, maybe, people say, I don't know, like, I literally didn't know. So I'm like crying to the point where I just can't take it. I'm laying, I'm on all fours on my stomach, and then I get on my birthing ball. Well, the doctor came in, and she sits beside me, and she says, "We think you need." Well, okay, backtrack. They brought an ultrasound machine in, and to me this was weird because I'd never seen, any birth vlog that I watched or anything. We didn't know why they were giving me another ultrasound. So my amniotic fluid was low, and for me to be getting induced like I was not fully there yet. Like, she was ready, but my body almost wasn't, and this is why. She comes in and she says, "We think that you need a C-section." And I was like, "Well, I don't understand, what's wrong?" She said, "Well, your amniotic fluid is kind of low." She said that she thought I had been leaking, which I didn't know because I hadn't seen anything, and I hadn't been bleeding. I mean, nothing was wrong. I felt fine. And I said, "Okay, well, why?" And I just started crying. And she said, "Well, you're only 2.5 centimeters, and you should be a lot further than that by now." And I said, "Okay." She said, "Well, every time that we start your Pitocin up, the baby's heart rate completely drops almost." I said, "Okay," and I'm just crying. She's like, "I'll give you a minute to think about it." I said, "No." I said, "I don't want to hurt my child. Yes, I want the experience, but it's not worth it because anything could happen to her. If her heart rate's dropping, I don't want to do it." So she said, "Okay, let's get ready." So I called my dad and I told him, and it was my aunt, my grandmother, my mother-in-law, and my fiance was all there. So I called my dad, and they took me back to the C-section in less than 10 minutes. I guess they were worried about her. And my fiance had to step out while they did my spinal tap because I had not gotten an epidural, of course. I was only 2.5 centimeters. So they did a spinal tap, and they laid me down and everything, and then they finally let my fiance come in. And I'm scared to death, and I really didn't want this to happen. Well, so they start my C-section and everything after they making sure that I'm completely numb. And it takes all of, like, I don't know, 10 minutes for them to get her out. I mean, it's not like they just go in and they cut it open and they pull your baby out. Like, they're jerking your body, they're moving your hip bones around. Like, you're sore after this. Not only because they cut you from almost hip bone to hip bone, but because they're in there jerking your bones around like this, trying to get that baby out. So they finally get her out, and she doesn't start crying. And I can't see anything. My fiance can, but he doesn't want to tell me what's going on. So I finally get her out, and she's not crying, she's not breathing, she's not doing anything, and she's like white, like almost as white as a stressor. So she finally starts crying, and I'm crying, and I just feel like a big relief. Well, usually you see they bring the baby over and like let the mom kiss it and everything. They brought my baby for 2 seconds, let us take this one picture that I'll show you here. And then they took her away. I had an anesthesiologist here who thankfully jerked the phone out of my fiance's hand, took the picture, and then they took her out. And my pediatrician, who I had when I was a baby, was actually her pediatrician and was there, thank God. And so they closed me up. He goes with the baby. Of course, I told him to. And they closed me up and they put me in recovery. You have to sit in recovery for an hour. So I'm sitting in recovery, not knowing what's wrong with my baby, not knowing if she's even okay. I'm not knowing what's going on at all. And so my doctor finally tells me that we live in Danville. Well, close to Danville. Well, we live close to both places, but I'm in Danville. And he says Carillion is going to come down here and they're going to fly your baby to Roanoke, which from my house is an hour. And I said, okay, what happened? They said her blood count is severely low. It is 2.8 and it needs to be between 40 and 60. And I just cried. I didn't understand what happened. The only thing throughout this whole pregnancy that had happened was, as you guys know, somebody hit me from the back of my car, and then I got the flu from going to the hospital for that wreck. So I was like, okay, well, what could cause this? They said, we don't know. She had examined my placenta, no tears, no nothing. It's not like she had bled back into me or back into my, there was some of her blood in mine, but not enough to where they were like, yes, she bled out inside of you. No, that wasn't what it was. And I had days where like she would barely move. Unless I ate ice, that gave her hiccups, but she would not move. I had to physically shake my stomach to get her to move. And now they said that that's why, but I didn't think of that because everybody knows once you get near towards the end of pregnancy, your babies do not move. That's a sign that labor is coming. So, anyways, they fly her out, and they finally put me back in my room. They let my fiance back there, and I said, "You're gonna go with her." I said, "I'll be fine here by myself. You can go with her." And he says, "Are you sure I can stay with you?" I said, "No, you're not staying with me. I need you there to tell me what's going on, the whole time." And he says, "Okay, well, they finally put me in my actual room, and luckily I got like a really big bed that could fit 2 people. And the flight crew comes in, and I was like, well, am I gonna get to see her at all or anything? And they said, you won't be able to touch her, but the flight crew has agreed that they will bring her by here. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, I just want to see her. So the flight crew comes through, and they're explaining to me what's going on, what they're doing, and she's in an incubator. She has a vent down her throat, and she's fully sedated, and basically a medical-induced coma almost. And I have a picture of that too, and I'll put it in right here. So they take her, they fly her up there, and my fiance goes home. I said, go home, take a shower, get yourself together, and then go. I said, because one, you're not going to be able to go back there as soon as she gets there. There's a lot that they have to do, because I work at this hospital that she's going to. And I said, there's nothing that you're going to be able to do as soon as they get there. So he doesn't want to leave me, but I'm making him go with her. And my aunt actually stayed with me because she's more like a mother to me than she is an aunt anyways. And so she goes up there, and the doctors called me like twice before my fiance ever even got up there, just telling me, he'd be her doctor and this, that, and the other, and that she was still sedated and all this. And she was in the NICU, progressively getting better. I mean, she had 3 to 4 blood transfusions. She went all the way from a vent down her throat to being on her own room air in less than a week. She was in the NICU a week and 1 day. She came home on that week and 1 day. The next Wednesday. How she got better that fast, we don't know. She was a full-term baby. She was 7 pounds 12 ounces when she was born. She was a healthy baby, but she just had a low blood count. But along with the low blood count, and her not being able to breathe, we could have gotten brain damage, kidney, liver, intestinal. All of those organs could have failed because of this lack of blood. And luckily, she got to come home that following Wednesday. The only thing that was wrong is she could not, any baby that goes to a neonatal intensive care unit in the NICU, they have to do a car seat test to make sure that they can tolerate that position, because they're so little, it can do this sometimes. So she did take that test, and she did fail that 2 times, and they gave her a car bed, which is just like a car seat that completely lays down flat. And if I have a picture, I'll put it in, because a lot of people have never even heard of one. I hadn't. I just knew that they did the car seat study. So in my head, I'm thinking, if she doesn't pass, we have to stay here until she can pass, which clearly wasn't the case. So that's the only thing that she failed. She did not even get to eat at all, except for through a feeding tube, until Saturday. And we only got to try breastfeeding twice. She would not take to my nipple because, usually you instantly do that when the babies are born. She did not get that. She did get pumped milk for the first 2 weeks of life, and then after that, she just didn't do very good on it. Come to find out, she is lactose intolerant, and she's on soy milk right now. And, well, soy formula. She's 2 months old right now, and I may do a 2-month update because she just was 2 months a week ago, so I may go ahead and try to do that tomorrow, or maybe today if I have time. We'll see how that goes. But she is very healthy now, very good. Ever since she came home, she's been sleeping through the night. I think the first week she woke up like once to eat, which some people argue with me and say, you need to wake her up, you need to wake her up, you need to wake her up. I'm not waking her up out of her sleep to feed her. I'm just not. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I did get to be a stay-at-home mom for the first complete 2 months, and my fiance wanted me to do longer, but it is hard. We need the money, and I go stir crazy. Yes, I have a baby, but she literally sleeps. Oh, she's sleeping now. She doesn't sleep as much as she used to, no, but I mean, I love her and I hate leaving her, but I only work 3 days a week, so it's not as bad as, it could be. But she's very healthy now. She just got her 2-month shots a week ago, and she's a healthy weight. She's a healthy size. She sleeps through the night. She did get thrush. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that, but she did get thrush, and that was hard because her mouth was very sore, and we're not sure why she got it, or where she got it, but that's also getting better. We're just doing medicine 3 times a day for that. And other than that, I mean, there's not much else to add. We will do, like I said, a nursery tour, but her nursery's everywhere. We have been to my grandma's house, and she's been staying at her grandma's house some, to give us a break, and nobody really gets to see her that much because I'm here with her all the time, and if I'm here, I'm not sending her somewhere else. So that's basically what happened and why I have not been uploading and doing anything with this channel at all. I hope that you can understand. If you can't, I'm sorry, but my daughter comes first, and she needed my attention. But if any of you have any questions as to what happened, well, they figured out what happened. I got parvo, and most people know that of what dogs get, and most of the time it kills the dog. Well, they think I got parvo the exact same time that I got the flu from the hospital, and because I tested positive for flu, I did not get tested further for any other issues. And I did get an ultrasound, and they did listen to her heart rate, and everything was good. All I needed really was some fluids for the flu and all that because I was severely dehydrated. But what had happened was, when humans get parvo, their blood count drops. Well, because I was pregnant, it did not drop my blood count because I was tested. It dropped the baby's blood count. So they also told me that if I would have went until June 10th or past that to get my induction day, or if I would have went until labor naturally and waited for my contractions to be 3 to 5 minutes apart like they tell you, that my baby more than likely would not be here right now. That I would have had a stillborn child and she would not be in this world. So I'm thankful that I asked for that induction day. I'm thankful that I did not listen to them and go to my second due date that they had given me, because I knew that she was ready. My whole body was ready, but my body would not put itself into labor because my body knew what would have happened if it did. That basically wraps it up. That's why me and her have not been uploading anything, and she's asleep right now, so I'm not going to wake her up just to put her in the video. But I will upload another one of her update, but I will show her to you guys while she's sleeping. There she is. She loves this swing. It's a Fisher Price swing. It's got little lambs at the top, and then you can just see our diaper stockpile.